2 words. Aliyah Boston, baby. Then I got 3 words. Pow, pow, pow!
A 16-point comeback, an overtime thriller, and a career night. The Indiana Fever just showed why they're the team nobody wants to face in the playoffs. Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston are teaming up to shock the WNBA, and we're breaking down how they pulled off the impossible against the Atlanta Dream. In this video, we'll break down Boston's career night, Caitlin Clark's record-tying game, and the 4 reasons why the Indiana Fever will be a nightmare in the playoffs.
Who is the most dangerous team that you think no one in that top half wants to see right now? In the bottom half, I think that Indiana is a problem.
Picture this. Final seconds of regulation, Fever down by 2. The ball finds its way to Boston. She drives. She scores. The crowd erupts as the game heads to overtime. It's the kind of moment that turns seasons around.
Clark going behind the back, trying to create off the Boston screen. Back to Boston. Boston turns the corner, gets to the rim, and ties the game.
But how did they even get there? The Fever were down 16 points, looking like they were out of it. Then something clicked. Clark started hitting threes, Boston dominated the paint, and suddenly the Dream's lead well became just a dream. Get ready, because we're about to show you how Clark and Boston are changing the game. Their performances aren't just impressive. They're reshaping what we thought was possible for this Fever team. Before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can bring more basketball content to viewers like you. The playoffs are coming, and these two are ready to give the rest of the WNBA a red-hot fever. And it's coming hot. Are you ready? Let's go.
She knows how to lay it out on a dime. Her court vision is impeccable, and now her teammates are ready to catch the ball. They trust she's going to get it where it needs to be. But y'all, the favorite part of my game from Caitlin Clark is this behind-the-back pass. Come on now. I love it. I love it. And that wasn't just one time. She does that on a frequent and drops it right there. Perfect to Aliyah Boston.
So let me just sprinkle in, because you mentioned AB. 2 of those highlights, I believe, were a Clark-Boston connection. Those 2 have been the second best scoring duo in the league behind Asia Wilson and Jackie Young.
Clark and Boston are a dynamic duo, but tonight it was Boston's turn to shine. From Rookie of the Year to mid-season monster, Boston's evolution is turning heads. What sparked this leap from talented newcomer to league-wide nightmare? Let's talk numbers, because Boston's career-high stats are jaw-dropping. 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. She dominated the game. Compare that to her rookie season averages of 14.5 points and 8.4 rebounds. And you see a player who's not just improved but exploded onto the scene. But it's not just about the stats. Boston's impact on the court is changing the entire game for the Fever. She's become a force on both ends, creating scoring opportunities and shutting down opponents. Remember that clutch layup that sent the game to overtime? That's the kind of play that defines careers and wins championships. It's her ability to dominate near the basket. 11 of 16 from the field and a perfect 8 for 8 from the free throw line during the game against the Dream. That's the kind of performance that keeps coaches up at night trying to figure out how to stop her. And during the most recent game, well, they weren't able to. But don't take my word for it. Caitlin Clark, her superstar teammate, put it best.
She's a dog. She was all over the glass. Came up with clutch buckets, tied it for us. Solid in overtime.
When a player like Clark is singing your praises, you know you're doing something right. Boston's growth isn't just about personal achievement. It's transforming the Fever into a team that no one wants to face in the playoffs. Her presence on the court opens up opportunities for her teammates, creating a more dynamic and unpredictable offense. Imagine Boston getting open in the paint. Clark zings a pass to her. Easy bucket. Defend Boston one-on-one, and she will feast in the paint. Double team her? She'll find an open Lexi Hull for the 3 or a cutting Kelsey Mitchell attacking the rim. Think about it. In just one season, Boston has gone from a promising rookie to a player who can take over games. That's the kind of leap that turns good teams into great ones, and contenders into champions. What's most exciting is that this feels like just the beginning for Boston. If she's capable of this kind of performance now, during her second year, imagine what she'll be doing in a year or 2. The rest of the league better take notice, because Aliyah Boston is here to stay. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like and subscribe. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and it makes a huge difference to us. We appreciate you. Now back to the action.
I'm not one it, not the two. I'm not one it, not the
While Boston's career night stole the headlines, another Fever star was quietly making history. Caitlin Clark's stat line looks good at first glance, but dig deeper and you'll find a rookie rewriting the franchise record books again. It's like every game. Another record is broken and we can't keep up. Let's break down Clark's impressive performance. 26 points, 12 assists, and 5 rebounds. Those numbers are solid, but here's where it gets wild. This was Clark's 14th double-double of the season, tying the Fever's franchise record. In her rookie year, that's the kind of impact that changes the trajectory of an entire team. But Clark's influence goes way beyond the box score. Her court vision and ability to push the pace are transforming the Fever's offense. Remember that viral full-court pass to Smith?
She gets that much time.
Oh, pass ahead. Smith running the floor.
That's the kind of play that energizes the whole team and leaves opponents scrambling. Clark's not just racking up assists. She's creating a faster, more dynamic style of play that's catching the league off guard. What sets Clark apart is her competitive fire. Even in the heat of a comeback, she's locked in on every detail. During the game, there was a controversial backcourt violation call that had Clark fired up. She didn't mince words, saying, "I thought a lot of the turnovers were unforced. That was not a backcourt violation." That's the kind of passion and attention to detail you want from your floor general.
But to me, the numbers bear it out. They've been on terrific tear since the All-Star break, but it also looks like they're playing with joy. They are gelling and having fun.
Clark's style of play is like a spark plug for the entire team. Her aggressive drives and quick release on shots keep defenses guessing. One moment she's threading the needle with a pass, the next she's pulling up for a deep three. It's this unpredictability that makes her such a nightmare to game plan against. What's truly impressive is Clark's stamina. In the overtime thriller against the Dream, she played all 45 minutes. That's the kind of endurance you need from your star as you gear up for a playoff run. It shows she's not just talented, she's prepared to do whatever it takes to win. The impact Clark has had on the Fever can't be overstated. This is a team that hasn't seen the playoffs since 2016. Now, with Clark running the show, they're not just in the postseason conversation. They're the team no one wants to face. She's changed the entire trajectory of the franchise in just one season. Think about the combination of Clark and Boston. You've got a dominant interior presence in Boston who can score at will and clean up the glass. Pair that with Clark's elite playmaking and scoring ability, and you've got a duo that can compete with anyone in the league. It's no wonder the Fever are suddenly looking like contenders. While everyone's talking about Clark and Boston, the Fever have been quietly building something special. How did a team that missed the playoffs for 7 straight years suddenly become the one no one wants to face? The Fever's recent hot streak is turning heads across the WNBA. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, and it's not just about individual performances. This team is clicking at the perfect time, with the playoffs right around the corner.
Kelsey Mitchell, 25
say.
points a game in August, had 25 in her game in September. You better watch out for her. And Lexi Hall in the starting lineup. That's a defender they need.
So fun to watch right now.
What makes the Fever so dangerous? It's their balanced attack. Clark, Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull form a fabulous four that is giving opponents fits. Mitchell's explosive scoring and Hull's sharp shooting create spacing nightmares. Throw in Clark's playmaking and three-point shooting, and Boston's dominance in the paint, and you've got a recipe for success. Remember last season? The Fever struggled, finishing with a losing record despite Boston's Rookie of the Year campaign. Fast forward to now, and it's like watching a completely different team. The chemistry is off the charts, and their confidence is through the roof. Caitlin Clark summed it up perfectly.
We felt like we were right there and really played a crappy half. So I'm proud of us. I thought we chipped away, we were resilient, and we really executed when it mattered.
That's not just rookie talk. That's a team that believes they can shock the world. Think about the matchup problems the Fever create. Who do you focus on stopping? Double team Boston, and Clark will make you pay with her threes. Try to take away Clark's scoring, and Mitchell will light you up. Double team Clark and Mitchell, well, Lexi Hull will rain down three-pointers on you. It's a pick-your-poison situation that's giving coaches sleepless nights. But it's not just about talent. The Fever have found their identity. They're playing fast, they're playing smart, and they're playing for each other. That kind of cohesion is rare, especially for a team with so many young players. It's a testament to the coaching staff and the leadership of veterans like Mitchell, who endured the bad times, but is now enjoying the success of the good times. The Fever's improvement isn't just about wins and losses. It's about the eye test. Watch them play, and you'll see a team that's having fun, that's locked in on both ends of the floor. They're not just happy to be in the playoff conversation. They're hungry for more. What makes the Fever such a nightmare matchup in the playoffs? It's their unpredictability. In a multi-game series, teams usually figure each other out. But with the Fever's balanced attack and the X factor of Clark's creativity, they can keep opponents guessing game after game. The Fever are peaking at the right time. They're not just winning. They're winning close games, comeback games, overtime thrillers, and games against contenders. Those are the kinds of experiences that forge championship DNA. When the pressure's on in the playoffs, the Fever won't blink. The rest of the league is taking notice. The Fever aren't sneaking up on anyone anymore. They've gone from feel-good story to legitimate threat. Teams that might have been looking past Indiana a few months ago are now circling those games on their calendars. The Indiana Fever are on fire, and they're not slowing down. Aliyah Boston's career-high 30 points and Caitlin Clark's record-tying 14th double-double have this team looking unstoppable. But it's not just about the stars. The whole squad is clicking at the perfect time. Now, the real test comes. The Fever are set to face the Las Vegas Aces, a matchup that'll show just how ready they are for the playoffs. MVP versus MVP, Aja Wilson versus Caitlin Clark. Clark's not backing down, saying, "We're not satisfied. We can beat any team." That's the kind of confidence you want heading into the postseason. The Fever have gone from underdogs to the team nobody wants to face. With their balanced attack and newfound swagger, they're poised to shock the WNBA. Clark and Boston might be young, but they're playing like veterans. Watch out, because this Fever team is burning bright, and they're ready to set the playoffs ablaze. Do you feel the heat? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest news. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.